We're off to Atlanta next weekend. Plenty of tickets available if you'd like to go, or get your best seat right in the living room.
Oh yeah,
watch it on Fox.
If you want to see some fast race cars on a fast racetrack, hot Atlanta.
A 1.5 mile racetrack, speeds over 200 miles.
273, 1.5.
You need to come to an Nextel Cup race. The sights, the sounds, and gosh, Larry, the souvenirs.
Yes,
can't get that sitting at home.
Yes, sir. What I'm hearing Robbie Reiser, Matt Kenseth's crew chief, give him right now is lap times and the interval back to second place Tony Stewart in a 20 car. It's important right now because this race has a tendency to get those long green runs. You want to take care of things on these long runs, Matt.
Larry Mack, his crew chief Robbie Reiser, also reminded Matt that although you were very fast at the beginning of the run, the 20 car seems to really pick up and doesn't fall off as much as you do. So he will be coming back to you more than likely at the end of this run. Matt said, no worries, I just wanted to get out in some clean air and lead some laps.
Plus, Darrell, you don't want to be looking in that mirror. You don't want to be wondering if that fella's gaining, if you're gaining on the second place car.
I just think my theory with these softer tires is you drive as hard as you can go, get as far ahead of everybody as you can. You know the tires are going to fall off, so you're going to start to backslide a little bit. But by the time you do, it's time to make another pit stop. So it's like a yo-yo. You reel it in, you reel it out. So I just think I'd rather be out there doing what he's doing.
Get what you can while you can.
You got it.
Bobby Labonte's very strong on these smooth, downforce, low-bank racetracks. He's in 5th. Steve Burns.
Well, Mike, prior to that last pit stop, Bobby Labonte said his car was tight off of the corners. So Fatback McSwain raised the track bar. They put some air in that right rear tire. Meanwhile, Kevin Harvick says to his crew chief, Todd Berrier, hey, I need some help rolling through the corner. So they dropped air pressures on their left side tires.
But I'll tell you, Steve, that 29 car, he's not too bad. They came out here and tested. They were so disgusted after that test. They went home and built a brand new car, brought it out here untested. It saw the racetrack for the first time Friday morning.
Harvick, a winner in yesterday's Samstown 300.
Somebody that last caution really, I think, paid dividends for was that 42 car. You know, he hit the wall down there pretty hard off turn 4, and they got into pits, and I believe they were able to adjust the toe on the car. Matt, what about it?
Larry Mackey has climbed back up to 20. They pitted twice. The first to make his stop, and then also he came back in, DW, to check the toe. And unlike the old days when they used to use string, now they're just using a long 10-foot piece of aluminum to check that. Mike Brill, the car chief, also added a 1-inch piece of tape on the left side of the grill. The engine was running a little too cool. Steve?
Dick, but on the last round of pit stops, Casey Kane came in second spot. Everything was going just fine until they reached for the windshield tear-off. That took maybe a quarter of a second to pull it off, but that's all it took to send Casey Kane out in 7th position. He then lost a couple of spots early on in traffic. His motoring forward, he is now riding in 6th, and his spotter, Michael Landis, has told him about the cars in front, find their weak spot, and get on by them.
I tell you, a car that has really responded well to some troubles he had. Jimmy Johnson in that 48 car. Remember, he started back in 13th position, had that accident on pit road, restarted back in about 33rd place. They did the repairs to that car. He just drove by his teammate Jeff Gordon in the 24 car. He's back to 13th position. Nice rebound.
It is, and like I said earlier, Larry, if I'm going to have trouble, let me have it early. Let me get my problems fixed so I can recover, you know, got the rest of the race to come back. And the 8 car is back on pit road.
The troubles continue, Jeannie. He's going to the garage area.
He said, I can't take no more.
That's pretty much it. Real loose and tight in the middle. It's so messed up. I'm coming off. I can't even tell you what it is doing. That is why they're headed to the garage. They're going to change shocks and springs and try this thing again.
I mean, you'd never have believed it. He would have come here, ran second here a year ago to Matt Kenseth, and comes here, and it's just a total disaster. He's probably going to fall completely out of the top 10 in points when it's all said and done after this race.
And, you know, I've had to do this very thing myself. It's very embarrassing. It's something you don't really want to do, but you got to fix it. You got to see if you can fix it. You might as well use the rest of the race as a test session to work on the car.
do you lose more time in the garage changing everything back over than you would lose if you kept trying to diagnose it and run as quick as you could on the track?
No, but the crew and everybody that's listening on that radio, they don't want to hear it. They just get tired of hearing all that driver complain, and so they got to come in and do something to it.
You know, Kurt Busch in the 97 car, I think he just made a smart move. Kevin Harvick in the 29 caught him. He let him go by. Don't sit there and wear both your sets of tires out. He caught you for a reason.
Kasey Kahne is flying his way back up through the field. He's passed Bobby Labonte now for 5th. Sets off after Kurt Busch. What a couple of weeks Kasey Kahne has had.
And Darrell, I just believed I see in the top 5 3 guys that ran that Busch race yesterday. Matt Kenseth, Kevin Harvick, and Kasey Kahne. I just believe that has helped them learn about these track conditions.
At 108 laps, Kenseth with a 3.1 second lead over Tony Stewart.